Let's take a look at question number 33 from the May 2016 release version of the Algebra 1 STAAR test. Okay, so what we have here is an inequality in a single variable that we need to solve. A variable is x. Okay, so let's go through how to do it without a calculator, and then I'll show you a technique you can use using the calculator. So let's go ahead and I'm going to rewrite. Let's go ahead and just work from here. Okay, so we're going to, first thing we need to do is distribute. Okay, so get rid of our grouping symbol. We have one grouping symbol, the parentheses. So let's go ahead and distribute. Okay, here and then here, and then we'll go from there. Okay, so we have 5 times 3 here. 5 times 3 gives us 15. So bring down 15, and we'll drop our parentheses once we get done distributing here. And then we have 5 times negative x, which gives us negative 5x. Okay, and let's just write the right side of our inequality. So we have negative 2x plus 6. Okay, so now we want to get our variables on one side and our constant value on the other, just like solving an equation. So if we have an inequality sign that we need to keep up with, and we need to know when we need to change our inequality arrow to go the other way, which is the fancy word is called sense. Okay, so change the sense to go the other way. So let's go ahead and let's move our 5x, the negative 5x, to the right. Okay, so we're going to add negative 5x to both sides. So let's go ahead and do that. So here we're going to add a positive 5x here and a positive 5x over here. Okay, and let's go ahead and simplify. Okay, so over here on the left side, this gives us 0. Okay, and then so we're left with just 15 on the left side. So let's put 15 here. Put our inequality sign. So nothing we've done so far is going to change the which way the arrow points. Okay, leave it the same. Okay, and now we have a negative 2x and a positive 5x. Okay, so absolute value wise, this 5 is greater than the negative 2. So we're going to we know our answer is going to be positive, and it's greater. Absolute value is greater by 3. Okay, so we're going to end up with 3x. Okay, and then just bring down our plus 6. Okay, and if you're still having trouble with negatives and positives, just put negative 2 plus 5, and it'll give you a positive 3. So the calculator can give you an answer if you're still not comfortable with the negatives and positives. Okay, so bring down your plus 6. Now we want to move this constant value, the 6th term, over to the other side. Okay, so we're going to subtract 6 from both sides. So minus 6 here, minus 6 here, and then 15 minus 6 is going to give us 9. So go ahead and bring down your 9. Okay, and we haven't done anything to change our inequality sign, so go ahead and bring down your inequality sign. And over here we have plus 6 and a minus 6. This gives us a 0. So we're just left with 3x. Okay, we have one last step, is to divide both sides by the coefficient of our variable x. So we're going to divide both sides by the coefficient, which is 3. Okay, so divide both sides by 3. Okay, and 9 divided by 3 is 3. So we have x is greater than 3, which we can rewrite it as x less than x greater than 3 this way. Okay, so x greater than 3, so we can rewrite it, put the x in the front. It's going to, the arrow goes the same way, so the opening to the inequality sign goes towards the x, and then the arrow goes towards the 3. Okay, so make sure you don't switch those. Okay, so so 3 less than x implies that x is greater than 3. Okay, so look at our answer choices. We have x less than or equal to negative 9, so that's not the right choice. And then we have the next one is x greater than 3. Okay, So now let's talk about how to solve it using the calculator. Okay, so basically the same. Solving an inequality in a single variable is the same way as solving an equation in a single variable. Okay, so if we're solving an equation in a single variable, we should use our Inspire calculators thinking about insolve. Okay, so the numerical solver. So what we can do is replace our inequality sign. Replace the inequality sign, make it an equal sign, and then use insolver, and it will give us the value. It'll give us the value, the constant value for our inequality. So it'll have, but where it's not going to give us is the arrow. Okay, so if we did have answer choices, if we had constant values that were repeated, like the sign, like if we had x greater than 3 and also an answer choice of x less than 3, then we would need to find out what sign, which way our arrow needs to be pointed. Okay, so in this case, all of our numerical parts of our inequalities are all different for our answers. So we could just use numerical solver. Okay, so use the insolve to command to find our which answer choice is correct. Okay, if you had the same number, like x, like I said earlier, x greater than 3 or x less than 3 as two answer choices, then you do probably need to do a process like this, or some way you need to determine if your arrow is going to change. Okay, so so this is how this is what the command is going to look like on insolve. So you're going to put in menu algebra, and then you're going to pick the first option, which is numerical solver, and then you're going to get this command. You're going to get the command insolve with parentheses. Okay, so inside your parentheses, you're going to put what we have for our question, for our inequality. So you're going to put 3 minus x, and you're going to replace that less than symbol with an equal symbol. Okay, and you're going to put negative 2x plus 6, comma, and then the variable we're solving for, which is x. Okay, hit enter, and it's going to give you here. It's going to give you an answer 3. Okay, so which matches the answer choice B. Okay, but again, you need to look at your answer choice options. So if we had x less than positive 3 down here, then we'd need to figure out which way our arrow is pointing in addition to it. But at least it would narrow down our answer choices. Okay, so there's two different ways you can solve this problem.